What is up, guys? Max here, and welcome back to part 2 of our 3-part series on how to replace green screens in devices with After Effects. Now, part 1 was replacing a static screen with After Effects with the camera doesn't move, just replacing the static screen. This will be part 2 on replacing a screen with the phone that moves a little bit, and part 3 is replacing the screen with a hand that is swiping in front of the phone. If you haven't seen part 1 or part 3, click the videos on the screen right now. Other than that, let's get started with part 2. So we have After Effects open. If you haven't already, down in the description, hit that MediaFire link and download the project file to follow along. So, you downloaded it? Are we ready to go? Let's get started. If not, you can use your own footage. It's not a big deal. So, we have the second piece of footage right here. Excuse me. This was the first one where we replaced the screen from part 1. Pretty cool, huh? This is the second one. What we're about to do, we're going to track this screen and go for it. This is the third one where the finger is swiping in front of the screen. So, right off the bat, what we'll do is we'll right-click New Composition from Selection. This is an 8-second clip, so we should be good to go. So, I know this is an iPhone 6, so the first step is to create a solid. So we'll right-click New, Solid. Let's change the solid to, like, I don't know, red. And we'll go iPhone screen, phone screen, _V for vertical. Width is going to be 1080. Height is 1920 by 1080. So that's the iPhone 6 resolution. Click OK. Boom. We have this. Next step is go to Effects and Presets and click Corner Pin or type Corner Pin. Drag your corner pin onto your iPhone screen, and these little corner pins right here, drag them down until they get to your phone. Now, on the mode, you can go to Classic Difference to kind of see in between of what's going on. So we zoom in, we can see, and you don't have to line these up exact, we'll fix it later, but it kind of, looks nice right now. So change the mode back to normal. What we'll do is we're gonna right click this shape, pre-compose, click Move All Attributes into the new composition. We'll go to iPhone screen _ perspective. Click OK. Next up, we'll double click this, right click, pre-compose inside of composition of perspective, and then we'll just go iPhone screen flat. And then we'll go leave all attributes in phone ice cream. This one, click that one right there. Click OK. So if we double click, it's like a flat image of our screen. Then we go to our perspective and we can jump back to 2, which is the second piece of footage, and here this is. So we can kind of hide this for now. We don't need it anymore. But what we're going to do is click the footage layer. Then we're going to go to Effect, or excuse me, Animation, Track in Mocha AE. So Mocha is tracking software that is built into After Effects, which is pretty darn powerful. It's very, very, very helpful software. Right now it's opening up and I'm just kind of talking away. There's a load screen on my other screen. I have 2 screens, very helpful. But Mocha is taking its sweet time opening up. There we go. So as soon as Mocha opens up, it's going to give you a little dialog box to click, hey, new project. Click OK, it'll create a new project. So first off, we're not going to completely, break down Mocha on how to use it, but we will use the essential tools to track your screen. And now with screens like this, when you know nothing is swiping in front of the screen, it's really, really simple to track in Mocha. So what you'll do is you'll start from frame 1. You grab this little Pen X tool and just kind of start clicking around the screen. Now you don't have to do as many clicks as me. I mean, I don't know, it makes me feel better clicking it this much. But I've seen people who just do it like, just a few clicks around. But it's just kind of data points. Once you're done, you right click. And before we get started, really, two main things to know in Mocha. Z is your zoom in and out tool. So hold down Z in your keyboard to zoom in and out, and hold down X to move stuff around. So I just kind of hover my fingers over my keyboard the entire time to get that started. So good thing we covered that. Mocha 101. Next, after you've made your little kind of like marquee mask thing, which creates a layer in your layer controls, we will click this button, this S right here, and then click this grid. And as you can see, we'll take this grid and kind of just line it up in the corners of this phone, which kind of looks like we're getting the perspective of the phone. So if we zoom out with Z, you can kind of see it's like this cool flat perspective. Looks pretty lined up. Next, down in your pre-processing module, you will take the minimum percent pixels used to 90%. Click your perspective right here and leave it on large motion. Then we'll start from the beginning and we will just do track forward. And it's tracking away. I'll speed this up for you guys and we'll see how it does. Alright, cool. Looks like our track is finished and we can kind of watch it back, so we'll just play forward. And we kind of keep our eye on the blue box that we put around our track. And it seems to be really perfect. So if you downloaded this footage and were following along, Mocha should kind of do the job for you. In part 3, we cover how to track with a more difficult footage with like hands and stuff moving in front of the screen, because the way Mocha works, it says this is my data, this green box, I'm going to follow it. No new pixels appear inside of this data like a finger on the screen. So the computer says this is really easy to track, we'll track it. Now when a finger swipes in front of the screen inside of this blue box we've created, it really can screw your track up because it's new pixels. It's not the green anymore, it's like a finger, so it can mess it up. So but in part 3 we cover how to fix those. Other than that, when it's just a green screen with nothing going on, super easy to complete. Now, if your green screen footage has the little track markers inside of here, there is a way to get rid of those. In my footage, we don't have it, so we're not covering it today. But if yours does, please comment below, and I will go over how to get rid of those as well. So we can pause our track. The track ended up being really good. Normally, you would go to like adjust your track. You'd start your master frame, and you would drag through, but since it was pretty much perfect, we're good to go. So the next step after this has been tracked, we click this little button right here, and do not forget to click this. It's called push to surface. And it's this neat yellow line, looks really fancy. If you're at work and you're doing this, everybody's like, whoa, that looks crazy. And you're like, I know, it's cool, right? But once you do that, you click your export tracking data, and make sure it's selected on the middle option. After Effects corner pen supports motion blur, and copy to clipboard. After you've done that, you can minimize Mocha and jump back into After Effects. Now our iPhone screen perspective, you click the little eye, turn it back on, and you just Command paste. So Command V or Control V or whatever if you're on your PC. Nothing against PCs at all, I actually love them. I just happen to be on a Mac today. But you copy and paste from Mocha onto this screen, and it creates this like tracking data. So it's like a corner pen. We've been using corner pen, you get that now, right? So next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna lock this composition, change this mode back to classic difference, and then we will jump to iPhone screen perspective. And because we locked this, it will stay here and open up a new comp for us. So we'll zoom in right here, use our hand tool to move around, then zoom in right here on our original corner pen. Click this, click corner pen to show the little dots, and by eye we just kind of line it back up. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Now, if you're doing this to make like a little app commercial or replacing, the phone screen with your app, from here, after you line this up, you'll, pull in your footage of your phone that you've recorded or downloaded or created. and put it into the flat composition, which will show up on the screen. So now that this is lined up, you can close this out now. Unlock this, it's going to jump back to this and then jump back to the number 2. We can jump into our flat, so double click, flat phone screen. In our project file, I'm going to drag in a iPhone image into our footage folder, which is this image 3 JPEG I just downloaded from Google. And we will zoom it out some. Right there's fine. I mean, it's not perfect, but we can jump back into number 2, change this mode to normal, and we will hit play to see how it lines up. And as you can see, Mocha did a really, really good job of keeping this screen aligned to the motion of this young lady's hands. So now that it's all tracked and we're really ready to go, it's time to sell the effect. We got to kind of like make this screen look like it's really there instead of just being placed on top. So the first step, as you can see, there's like this green line on the screen. What we're going to do is jump into the screen perspective and click on this iPhone screen flat. Go to layer, layer style, stroke. Click down on the stroke, change it to black. This just makes the screen thicker. So if you jump back to number 2, it's just black. We can make it a lighter gray, I guess, to kind of like match the phone. Like that. That looks a lot better. Then next, we can go to iPhone screen flat. We'll click new adjustment layer. Like before in part 1, click blinds. Just like that. Do transition to, I don't know, 1, 2, yep. Width, let's go down to 10. Transition completion 3. Looks pretty good. Next we'll go to box blur. So box blur, drop it onto our adjustment layer. Blur radius 0.2. That just kind of blurs it a tiny, tiny bit to make it look more like a phone. Jump back to our 2 composition. And let's click play. It's already being sold a lot more. Once we sell our effect a little more, we do have this green glow on her face that we want to get rid of. That's really, really easy. Inside of your effects and presets, we can type advanced spill suppressor right here. We can drop this onto our footage, which immediately gets rid of the green. Just like that. And the final step to sell this effect a little bit more is on your iPhone screen perspective. You're going to go to layer, layer style, inner glow, drop down the inner glow, change it to a darker color, click the blend mode to normal, just zoom in a little bit, increase your size, it's about right there. I think that looks great. Zoom out. And you can play with these settings obviously as much as you want, but it kind of gives you like an edge if you look right here on the phone. So when you hit play, it just really looks like it's there. And that was the final step. Looks great. I think we've made a really good one. In this instance, we didn't have to actually, key out the green screen because nothing's in front of the screen. In part 3, we will be doing that. So check out part 3. I hope this information was useful and you liked it. Other than that, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Hopefully you found this helpful. I'm Max. I'll catch you guys next time. Be sure to check out part 1 and 3. Yep. Peace.